Hey, what's going on, guys? Max here with Because Bitcoin, and today we're going to be diving into the Bitcoin chart as well as total crypto market cap. I'm basically just going to be running you guys through some TA, play around with the levels a little bit, and speculate on what could come next. If you are new here, thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing to the video. We're pumping out a lot more content on YouTube these days, and thanks again for the support. So let's dive into the charts, take a look at things. So let's start with Bitcoin. So on the daily time frame here, it's kind of shaping up to be a little bit ugly, right? I mean, we had a really strong daily candle yesterday, or attempted push up, and we have since been met with what's kind of starting to look like a bit of a swing fail, right? Like, we took out this high, definitely trapped a lot of long interest up there, but we haven't really done a whole lot since. So look, I'm not expecting much. We could still initiate Operation Save the Daily. I think we've got about 5 hours, give or take, from the time of making this video, and they'd have to chase this thing back up pretty good. But yeah, it's not looking that good. And we actually saw something very similar over here, where on August 1st we had a really strong daily candle. A little bit of a push up after, nice kind of swing fail, and then we actually kind of fired back down the next day and proceeded to bleed a little bit. Nothing too crazy happened after the fact, but yeah, it's not looking great so far. Bulls haven't really been able to do too much. So let's take a look at some drawings here. One thing I want to get into right here is the daily supply. Now, actually, I'm gonna draw this from scratch just so you guys can actually see how I do it. So right from up here, you can see on July 13th is when we had the attempted breakout. So this was our range high right here. It ended up being a sweep. Basically we just sort of swept the range high, and this basically up here ended up being a bull trap. But this last daily candle, all these bulls, all this buying right here is now considered high time frame supply. So of course, what's going to print a green candle on the chart like this one? Exorbitant amounts of buying, right? So there's a lot of people that bought Bitcoin here for the anticipated breakout. We basically swept the previous high as noted, and then just kind of shot back down. So this candle right here is now supply. Whenever price has come back to retest it, and you could technically, some people go down to the wick. I like to kind of do both, like from just the open or the wick. But you can see that basically every time we've come back into retest this high time frame daily supply, we've basically been shot right out of it. Now, we didn't quite make it into there yesterday, but one thing we did do is there's a pretty notable breaker block right here. So this is a daily time frame breaker block. So a lot of shorts down here, lots of selling. They got squeezed. This is, again, now supply, like we just talked about. So we were supposed to come back, in theory, like if this was going to be an order block, what we should have done is done something like this. This box should have been support, and then we probably could have moved back up, and done something like that. But that, of course, hasn't happened. So, this is a very significant level, and it's been causing quite a bit of difficulties for Bitcoin's price. As you can see, every time we've come back in, not only daily supply, I'll redraw that here as well. Actually, now that I've shown you guys how I draw it, I have the preset one, so we'll just put that back on there. Sometimes I make them in advance for the sake of time, because I don't want the videos to be an hour long. But yeah, this is basically what we're looking at right here, is that every time we've come back into daily breaker block and daily supply, we've been met with a pretty quick rejection. So this time is no different. We fired back into that really last night, and we basically just been shot right out. So what am I expecting here now on the lower time frames? Conveniently enough, our previous week high and previous week low also happened to be precisely where I would mark out buy side and sell side liquidity. So again, the lots of supply above head, like we just talked about. Like, a lot of people that bought up here, very eager to get out and sell whenever they can. But yeah, we had a really nice deviation above our previous week high, a nice little sweep. And actually, we took this in the Because Bitcoin Discord. This is the trade that we're currently in right now. I can find it. I think maybe it got moved. Anyways, we're in from 30,000, 30,030. So right up here on this wick, we caught that this morning, and basically looking for something like this. We're give or take about there. Stops would be at break even, but initially it was over this wick, and I'd be looking for potentially a move down to take out the liquidity on this side of the previous week range. So we're just kind of riding in that for now. What could I potentially see happen? Well, going down to the 4-hour time frame, we do have some 4-hour demand right here. So nice 4-hour order block right here. So potentially if we don't have enough strength, or the bears don't have enough strength to push price down to the liquidity here below the previous week low, I'd potentially be looking for, this area right around here to provide a bit of a bounce. This is a lot of like kind of chop, and also could potentially be, considered support. So we've got 4-hour demand right here. And on top of that, I'd actually like to take a look at some daily time frame volume profiles. For those that aren't familiar with these, it basically just prints a volume profile for every session's trading activity. So if you see like this gold line, this is called the point of control. That's the area in which the most transacting has occurred for that session. And if it's called a naked point of control, it just is like a previous session's point of control that hasn't been revisited yet. And you'll see in a ranging environment, like let's just take a look at this previous range up here, right? So this is range low, this is range high, and you can see, how they kind of bracket around each other. Like, this is a cool one, right? So point of control for, the July 23rd session was right down here, and we spent 1, 2, and then on the third day we came back, wick to it, and then turned around from there. So they can be used as support and resistance, and price will naturally sort of gravitate towards the daily naked point of controls within a range. And I would still argue that we're in a range right now. This is just a range. You could decide where you want to draw it from. You could maybe bring it back here. But we're just going to say it's the previous week range for now. So pretty notable that, right at 4-hour demand, our 4-hour order block, we've got two daily naked point of controls as well right here. So again, we'll go back to the 4-hour. I'll redraw the demand. So right here, everyone draws them a little different. That's how I like to draw them, from the open to the wick of the day below. But anyways, let's put this back on. 4-hour demand. So potentially if we don't get like a big flush down to the previous week low, I think that there's definitely a case to be made for something like this, just retesting 29, take out these two, daily naked point of controls. And then if this one ends up becoming a daily naked point of control, again, I can't say it yet because we still have 5 hours left within this day's range. So, we could put in more volume down here, and this could potentially be the point of control. But, potentially assuming it's still up here, you could look for, a lower time frame long somewhere down here. So, I'd maybe do something like this. We'll have to see how price action develops, but you could maybe look for something like this, maybe tighten this up a little bit. Probably shouldn't get too deep into it. Yeah, something like this. Little 3-to-1 RR, just playing ping pong within the range. So that's on the low time frames what I'm looking at. But yeah, we're riding this right now, which is pretty nice. So we're in from right up here, basically at the previous week high. So that's going very well. I got one more I'd like to discuss. So I'm actually just going to manually draw this now. So this is kind of like it's the left curve normie beginner TA, but my goodness, with Bitcoin it just seems to work. Look at this, right? Pretty unreal, numerous times, right? So we bounce here a second time, bounce here a third time, and I guess if you want to count like the point of origin. Look at this trend line has just been all you've needed to make a ton of money in this market. All you've had to do is just long the trend line every single time, just play there. And then, you could do the same thing here, I don't know. It's just, save all your fancy liquidation levels and order flow data and, all that and just draw a diagonal line. Apparently that's all you need. But I don't necessarily point this out to suggest that this is a super bullish retest, because the reaction here has been relatively muted, right? I mean, you can see how explosive the expansion was from here. I mean, we touched it and then just rocket. And then this one we slowly bled down to it. Rocket, but not quite as much as this one. So far, this one's been a little bit muted. It's been a little bit, maybe running out of steam. We'll see. But I don't bring this up for any reason other than to say keep an eye on it, because it's been such a reliable trend line so far. I'll be very curious to see what happens if and when it breaks. And I mean, eventually it will break. Like, we'll run out of space, so eventually it will break. But I'd be curious to see what happens, if we kind of came down here, like if we broke down further, or precisely what would happen. But I also just can't shake this, right? Like, let's just do a little exercise here. All right, let's remove these lines. Now, I know crypto Twitter doesn't like the bears. Crypto Twitter, you're supposed to be bullish. We love Bitcoin. Yes, we do love Bitcoin, but sometimes it makes sense to be a little bit cautious. I just can't help but notice, like, right, here's our daily supply. All right. So if the chart looked like this, right, you'd see a lot of bulls drawing things that look like this, right? You'd have your like low time frame guys even getting in on this, saying, look, we like swept this low, see, we're getting a little bit of lag here. We swept this low, and we trapped all the bears down here, really bulls. And look at this trend line. When this trend line breaks, we are gonna go to all-time highs. We are gonna go all the way, we're gonna go crazy. When this trend line breaks, it's over for the bears. They're gonna do this, and then forget about it. I mean, they'd be doing this, right? But of course, that's not what the chart looks like. The chart looks like this. So you're not allowed to draw this unless you want to be crucified on Twitter. And I don't know if that'll happen or not, right? I'm going to even remove this. I'm not necessarily expecting something like that, but I think it does help to at least view this as an exercise to check your bias and check your positioning. So, I'm looking at this and just saying, like, let's just wait and see what happens. Like, let's see if and when this trend line breaks. If we get a move down, let's see what happens. Furthermore, this is a really hot level right here. This level right here, let's make it a little bit thicker. Put it in blue. I mean, this wouldn't be too far-fetched to, potentially see kind of like a double bottom form, right around here. Something like this, it wouldn't be that bad, I don't think. And it can take a little bit of time to play out for sure, but, it's getting a little bit heavy up here. And again, August and September are historically pretty bad months for Bitcoin. I also wouldn't mind to see something like a little bit deeper, like this. And then this acts as basically like a bear trap. And then, we can send it significantly higher after that, maybe closer to the halving. So I think, this would potentially be a really nice level for bidding, right down in here. If it happened, of course, that's a long ways away, but just kind of prospecting potential scenarios. And I really like this 25K level, because this would basically just be our range high. Like, we have range high, we have range low, range high and range low right here, and also range low is confluence with a previous range high. So I think it's at least something to keep in the back of your mind, right? It's definitely something to keep in the back of your mind. Nice little mid-range action there as well. So anyways, let's move over to total crypto market cap, see what's going on over here. All right. So it's a little bit messy. I was drawing these earlier, but again, pretty pronounced range here. Range high, range low, mid-range. Range high has been giving us some difficulties. I mean, you can see that, once we completed the symmetrical deviation after the range low to the range high, we've been shot down numerous times. It doesn't mean that it has to stay that way forever, but as of right now, it's been giving us a tough time. So what would I like to see happen from here? Well, just as we talked about daily supply up on Bitcoin, Total also is suffering from the same sticky daily supply right up here. Actually, yesterday and today, we've wicked right back into this daily supply and basically been stuffed. So on top of that, we've got some normie trend lines here, like kind of goofy little diagonal lines, just to signify a loss of trend. What I would really like to see happen would be a little bit of a deeper dive down here. I mean, we've just been churning up here for so long, and we're at daily supply. I'd like to see us, kind of work our way down into here, potentially, retest this level right here. And then ultimately, I think it would be beneficial for us to come back and retest this mid-range. I think that's a really nice level. I think it's a really good level, and hopefully that would line up with something like this on Bitcoin. If we could get a move down, into here, maybe take out this low right here. Typically we have a pretty nasty, like one more nasty pullback about like 6 to 9 months before Bitcoin halving. The next one's April 2024. So maybe it comes soon. August and September have historically been terrible months for Bitcoin, going all the way back to 2010. They've been the two only red months on average in Bitcoin's entire history. So maybe it comes soon. Maybe it's, later Q4, who knows? But, either way, I don't think it would be a bad thing. I don't think that lower prices should be scorned upon. I think that they should be welcomed because we do have some inefficiencies, and I think it would be beneficial, to retest some lower prices. So anyways, I don't think we need to necessarily, unless we get a crazy catalyst, talk about really, really lower prices. I think we just play it level by level right now. If we want to draw one of these lines here too on Total, you could maybe be looking for something like this. We invert it just to provide, additional perspective. Maybe, maybe we, start moving up towards this trend line, and maybe that's all we need is just a retest of the trend line, and then, we can do that. Again, this is inverted. Or, maybe we get this, and then we do something like this, and we go retest, sub 1 trillion for total crypto, and, who knows. But yeah, either way, things, they look relatively bearish here, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. It's just, it's become exhausted. I think there was a good opportunity last night. If the bulls could have gotten back above, this level today, this daily supply, again, we've got more daily supply here. So again, just stacking daily supply. This is daily supply. This is daily supply. But there's just a lot of trap buyers up here. If we could have flipped this level, and done something like this instead, then I think you could have looked for, significantly higher prices. But just the reaction has been so muted and actually so bearish. There was just so many longs that opened up here. If you look at the perpetual futures data on Coinalyze or CoinGlass, or BB Terminal, you can see just how many longs opened up yesterday, aggressive longs. And actually, let me see, this guy's got a nice indicator. Yeah, here we go. Leviathan. He's really talented. But yeah, you can see the open interest here. It's pretty obvious why we're puking now, right? So this is open interest. This is the Bitcoin price. All of this open interest was, there were shorts in there, right? And they were getting blown out while we were going up. But all of this was longs opening. So again, as soon as you see the longs opening, all the contracts opening, you can see what happened to price. Started moving up. So where the move originated from, right here, this was where the move originated from. So hundreds of millions of contracts were opening, longing Bitcoin here. Again, the move originated right here. So, it wouldn't be surprising to, again, just see this open interest get rinsed here, where you still have longs closing. And now, again, look, you're seeing open interest closing, so contracts closing, prices moving down. So it was just apes, just people aping in, trying to force a breakout or squeeze somebody or whatever. So if we see this open interest profile reset right here, and all of these longs that originated here yesterday puke, and you could see price potentially even go on to, break down here. We're already halfway done, a little bit more, so we'll see. Because then you got to consider as well, once we're down here, you could see open interest climb, and that could mean that, right here, shorts start opening, and then it can get really nasty if they're successful. So anyways, lots to keep an eye on. But for me, in the immediate term, I'm really just focused on the previous week low. So, we can throw that back up here again. So I think it'd be good to see, finish that OI rinse and then potentially send it down and take out the low of yesterday. I think that would potentially set up a nice long even, assuming the reaction is there and, everything checks out. But yeah, I'd like to see this OI profile continue to get rinsed. Let's reevaluate back down here. And just a reminder, we do have, some 4-hour demand here. So that could again line up nicely with this OI profile basically resetting to where it was yesterday. All the longs puke, and then maybe we get a long opportunity down here, but time will tell. It depends on a lot of things. So anyways, that's basically all I've got for you guys today. So thanks so much for being here. Again, my name is Max. I'm with Because Bitcoin. If you're new here, thanks so much for checking us out. Please consider liking and subscribing. We host daily live shows every single day. And if you want to get to know me and the rest of the team on a more personal level and actually trade with us, we do have some premium services down below in the description. You can join our Discord. We host basically like an hour and a half of like free, once you're in, like you don't have to pay anything extra, like live streams every single day just for our Discord members. So a lot of utility out of there. Really, really great group of guys. We've been absolutely killing it lately. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for being here. Again, my name is Max, and we'll see you next time.